you can do this makeup. I've been a professional hair and makeup artist for 20 years, and the number one question I get asked is, how do I do beginner glam makeup? You want to make sure that your face is nicely cleansed and moisturized. I went in with this moisturizer before I applied these eye patches. So I want to make sure your lips are nicely moisturized as well. Most of us have dark circles, so I like to go in with a good eye cream after I've removed the patches, and I'll just work that into the skin. Apply a nice primer. I like to work the primers in where I have more visible pores, which is the center of my face, correcting the areas just where you need it. Sometimes I like to use my finger. I feel like it just warms up the product really nicely. Foundation, and I only like to start off with one pump because I want to spread it out evenly, and I want to put as least amount of product as possible. One pump was plenty because I'm still going to apply concealer. Great brush to use to apply your concealer because it does the blending and it gives you like a really nice flawless finish. And you see I'm not swiping or I'm not, wiping. I'm just tapping, and it looks really nice and blended. And I did this like within 30 seconds. Whatever's left over, you want to run down your neck. You don't want your neck and your face to be two different colors, but overall you want your face to match your arms and your body. And see how I'm really dark right here, so it's okay if my face is a little bit darker. Always tell my students to make sure you get 2 concealers, one to kind of cancel out the darkness and color correct and just give you a nice flawless base, and the other one to highlight. Going with matches my skin tone really good. It's going to just further color correct, just dry a little bit. Then I'm using this fluffy brush to just tap it in place. Again, I'm not swiping or buffing. Tap, tap on top of it to blend it out nicely. And then you can go back in with this brush to diffuse the edges. And with a lighter shade to highlight. So I'm gonna apply some on this side and my little indentions right here. Just a little bit down the bridge of my nose. While that dries, I'm gonna go in with some bronzer stick. So I'm gonna just warm it up on my hand. You can go directly, but I find that this just works better. It's more actually beginner friendly. So you can just go in and just brush the product where it needs to go and it blends. With this brush, I just kind of dragged everything. Now I'm going to use this brush and just tap everything into place. This brush to blend everything out. Now the key here again is not to swipe. You don't want to remove the product. You just want to tap and you want everything to just blend in. Go in and set the under eyes. Do not use baking powder to set your under eyes. Use a nice pressed powder. Tap the product in. Pieces are pulled out or blended out before you start setting anything. So I use this powder and just set pretty much the T-zone and the center of my face. I set the rest of my face using this Sephora Micro Smooth powder. I'm going to use it for my cheekbones, my forehead, basically the perimeters of my face. And then whatever's left over, I'll just lightly brush it on the center just to mix everything together. I further chisel the cheekbones. I'm using this color right here. I'm just doing small circular motions, starting at the ear and just going down. This is optional because we've already used bronzer. So my favorite part is to contour the nose. This brush was designed to make it easy. All these products will be linked in the caption. Before we do the blush and the eyes, we're going to put a little bit of loose powder underneath the eyes. I like to wait to do my blush at the very end because I always want to make my blush match either my eyes or my lips to kind of give it an overall like complete look. If you are like in your 20s, you can bake longer and do your eyes and then brush it off, but I'm in my mid 40s and the longer I bake, the more wrinkles that will show. So I'm brushing it off. The eyes, now I'm just putting a little bit of concealer on the lids just to even it all out. And I like to bring it up all the way to the brows and then set it with some powder. This is going to give you a nice even base. Use this palette by Blush and Glow. It's called the Jet Setter palette. It has all the brown girl friendly colors that you need. And I'm just going in with the shade Desert and using a fluffy brush and doing small circular motions. No windshield. You can do a little bit of windshield, but mainly do small circular motions. And what that will do for you is blend the eyeshadow for you really nicely. I was going for like a party or Indian event, like a wedding. I would go for the shade Bollywood, and I'm just going to put it on my lid. You see how pigmented that is? Since this is beginner friendly, I'm going to keep the eyeshadow really simple. To avoid those two colors looking too harsh, you would just take your brush and just tap. We're going to finish up the eyes. I'm using the shade Icon, and I'm just going to do like an inner corner highlight on both sides with this detailed brush. And just basically what you're doing is you're just tapping the color. You're going to bring it down a little bit lower as well. For eyeliner, I'm just going to dip into the black color, and I'm just going to use the shadow and tap the color closest to the lash line. This is perfect for beginners because if you cannot do eyeliner evenly, it doesn't have to be even. You just use the brush and the brush does the work for you. Like, look at that, the difference. Super easy. And then if you want some sort of wing, you can just take that brush, flip it over, see how the pointy side is facing outer, You want to just tap it right at the edge where the two folds of the eyes meet, and just be really patient and just work it out. That looks like I have eyeliner on, but it's just shadow, and the shadow is just easily blended. I'm gonna apply black eyeliner in my waterline, and to make it this ultra glam, I'm just gonna go to town with it and let it bleed over, because that's all gonna get blended out with some black shadow. Brown shadow, not black. So I'm gonna tap into the brown shadow, and on the outer edges, I'm going to just tap on top like this. That's going to not only diffuse the black line, but it's also going to set it, so it's gonna be really waterproof. Then I'm going to go in with this lighter shade right underneath it and just blend it out. Just going back and forth motions to make it look really blended. I'm just going to keep blending back and forth. It's making it look super blended. Next is going to be lashes. I just curled my lashes. I'm putting a light layer of some mascara on. I'm going to apply our lashes, and I found the easiest way to apply lashes is to take a mirror, hold it underneath your nose, and you just want to apply the glue on your lash line like this. If you don't have a still hand, use some tweezers, but I like to just use my fingers and just go from the top and bring it down, and then just slowly babysit it into place. I decided on a mauve pink lip, so I'm using this shade right here for my blush. And I'm just applying it higher on the cheekbones and then just bringing it down and blending the edges. Blush is usually the first thing to go, so don't be scared to apply extra blush. I always line my lips with a nice warm brown shade. This is called Clove. Adding the lipstick of your choice. Going back in with that pressed powder and just applying it right here to snatch the eyes up a little bit more. Setting the makeup. And this is the final look. If you want any details on any of the steps, leave a comment.